It is really, really important to understand that working harder doesn't fix the dramas. So when you're snowed under, when you're stressed, when you have got all of the things happening, burrowing down like a little burrowing thing, knuckling down, nose to the grindstone, is not necessarily going to be your way out. In fact, oftentimes it just adds more stuff. It adds more stuff to your list because you're leaving a trail of unfinished things behind you. When you strategize, when you take time, so like I am here in Mildura for this week, working on my business, working on the things that I am doing for my mentoring clients, and both current and future, and looking at the ways that I can provide better value without having to work harder. One of the first things I do is look at my diary, look at how I can structure things better so that I'm actually being more efficient, which means I've got better energy, which means I provide better value. So for me, I've talked about this many, many times. I've talked about the importance of stepping away from your business so that you can work on it to make it flourish and thrive and stand strong. On a day-to-day level, you also need to be able to put systems in place so that you can run things more smoothly. Now that might mean hiring some admin team so you're not trying to do all the things. Now that might require you to increase your fees so you can afford the admin team so that you're not having to do all the things. That might require you to look at your revenue streams. There are so many strategic decisions that you need to make in order to get your business just tweaked that little bit so that you're not having to work so hard just to keep the wheels turning over and over again. A lot of people will tell me that they feel like they're captain of a sausage factory, or stuck on a hamster wheel, or whatever happened to the flexibility and freedom that I thought owning my own business would bring. It's there. The freedom and the flexibility will come once you've got these strategies and systems and scaffolding in place to support you in your business ownership journey to be more efficient. So this morning was a good couple of hours spent talking through my diary, talking through or sitting and looking at my diary, looking at the structure, looking at what is working, what is not working. One of the big things for me is making sure that my higher level business coaching clients have access to enough flexibility for their one-to-one sessions with me. Because if you're in my Like a Boss program, you have as many one-to-one sessions as you need, but obviously they need to be available in the diary. So I need to regularly look at that and make sure that I've got everything sorted out in my diary to support my clients in a way that's workable for me. Obviously, I'm not going to be available at 6 a.m. I'm not going to be available at school run time, or I'm not going to be available at dinner time. So I need to make sure that my diary is structured, is scaffolded, has systems in it. So I use the Acuity scheduling app for my diary. So people book in a one-to-one session through Acuity, and that then allows them the flexibility to choose a time for them that is also obviously mutually workable. Otherwise we end up playing the whole ping pong, who's available what time game, which nobody enjoys. And again, that's a time inefficiency. To be playing that tag of when can we make a time to meet up that both works for both of us. Find something that works for you. So for me, it's Acuity. Other people use Calendly, and I'm sure there are others as well, where people can just jump on and book themselves a time that works for them. So I spent time today looking at all the things I try to achieve in a day, and how I can make those processes more efficient for me and for my clients, and then look at what else I'd like to be able to achieve that I'm not finding the time to do. So for me, that is the things that tend to fall off the side of my table are the administrative things, just like you, all the administrative things that we don't really enjoy doing. So for me, it's responding to email. Who said that? If I owe you an email, I also probably owe you an apology. So I'm very sorry about that. It is the one thing that tends to fall off my desk. It's the one thing that tends to get let go because I'm prioritizing all the other things. For me, it's also about having support around the things that take time to do. So if I know somebody has done something before, like running a workshop or hosting an event, and I know that they've done something similar before, I'm not afraid to ask them for advice and support on how they managed to achieve that. Because what's the point of reinventing the wheel? This is why collegial relationships with peers in your area of work are so important, because find a group of people who are happy to support you to achieve what it is you're trying to achieve, and you're providing a scaffold that supports you in your work and keeps you on track and makes you efficient. So one of the conversations we had today was also around the catering for my CEO Mindset workshop that's coming up at the end of March. How do we cater an event like this? It's going to be a maximum of 12 people. All sorts of catering options were discussed. We've come up with a plan that I think is going to be a lot of fun and very yummy, and I'm quite excited about that. But the thing that struck me while we were talking about something as simple as catering an event was, you know what, I'm actually worrying about the wrong thing. I'm worrying about over-delivering and making it more bells and whistles than is absolutely necessary in order to provide an excellent experience for people. So the solution we've come up with ticks all my boxes of providing an excellent experience, but doesn't have to go to the ridiculous lengths to get there that I was tempted to go down. So I want you thinking about, who do you know who can support you in your mission and in your journey? Who do you know who can advise you when you're trying to figure out something? Now, most of you have access to me in some form or another. You've got access to each other. You've got access to other mentors and supports in your community. Make sure you're overcoming your fear of asking questions. And ask the bloody question. Hey, how did you solve this problem? We're all members of groups online. Make use of those groups. Ask those questions. Share vulnerably and genuinely. Let people know that you're struggling with a particular thing and you'd love some advice on how to solve that thing. Find out how other people are being efficient in the work that they're doing. Again, working harder isn't the solution. Working smarter is almost always the wiser choice. So finding efficiencies, finding out what other people are doing to support themselves in their business. One of the things that I have really appreciated is having some virtual support for some of my content scheduling. And one of the conversations I'm having this week is around next level virtual administrative support to make sure that things don't so regularly fall off the side of my desk, such as emails. So looking at systems, looking at services that are available. I learned a new phrase recently, which is OBM, which is an online business manager. And that's the level of support that I'm toying with at the moment, whether or not to have a virtual, like a virtual personal assistant or a virtual business manager who supports all of the things that I'm trying to juggle at once. So the next time you feel that all you need to do to make everything work is just see more clients, or just do more work, or just work a little bit harder, or just work longer hours, or just stay up later, or just get up earlier to do all the things, I want you to just stop and ask yourself, is that really the right question? Or is that really the right answer to the actual question, which is that you are tired and you're juggling too many things and you're being all things to all people? That's great, but where is the efficiency? Where's the opportunity to insert some scaffolding, to bring in some support, to ask some questions, to get some coaching, to get some mentoring, to get some advice, whatever it might be that works for you? When you're feeling like that temptation to just work harder to make it all work, pause. It's an opportunity. So look at the overwhelm and say, well, maybe this is my time now to stop letting this happen so regularly. Maybe this is the time when I can do something differently to how I've always done it before and get some scaffolding and some support in place. Speaking of support, don't forget, Emergence starts next Tuesday. If you're tempted, you want to join in, let me know. All the information's in the PS section of the text accompanying this video. Just promise me that the next time you're feeling overwhelmed, you'll try and have a different view. You'll put some different glasses on and look at things a little bit more strategically and support yourself to put some supports and strategies in place for you. Have a fabulous day. I will talk to you later, no doubt. Make sure you're following my Instagram stories if you want to see some behind the scenes footage of what I'm up to here in Mildura. You watch a boat docking behind me. I had the luxury or the opportunity this morning of captaining the boat for a little while. This is not our boat, by the way, this is someone else's. Let's hope they don't crash. It's very scary docking one of these great big things. But I had the opportunity to captain the boat for a little while this morning, so you might get to have a look at that on Instagram stories. Have a fabulous day, and I will talk to you very soon. I am off on the hunt for coffee, and I'll check you later. Bye for now.